Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartRadio. Welcome to Hunting for Answers, a true crime podcast. I'm your host, Hunter, and today we're highlighting a case that happened in August 2012. A 33-year-old Detroit mother of two disappeared without a trace. She was last seen leaving her home on Appleton Street. She was reportedly headed out to take care of business. Her white Pontiac Grand Prix was found abandoned miles away, but the woman herself was never seen again. What makes this case even more disturbing is the man she left behind, the father of her youngest child, who would later describe her disappearance as one less headache in his life. This is the story of Tamala Wells. Tamala Wells, known to friends and family as Nikki, was 33 years old in the summer of 2012. She lived on Appleton Street in Detroit's West Side with her boyfriend of 17 years, Ricky Tennant, and their 6-year-old daughter. Tamala was the oldest of 6 children. After high school, she pursued dreams in healthcare, attending nursing school, and working in home healthcare. She was the mother to 2 children, her 6-year-old daughter, and a 19-year-old son from a previous relationship. At the time of her disappearance, she stood 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighed about 157 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Tamala's hair was styled in tiny braids that fell below her shoulders at the time she vanished, and she wore acrylic fingernails, had a scar under her chin and a scar on the left side of her forehead. Her ears were pierced as well, twice on each side. She was described by her mother, Donna Wells Davis, as a social butterfly who brought joy to every room she entered. When she walks into a room, you just know you're going to have a fun time, she would later say. But beneath the surface of Tamala's outgoing personality, trouble was brewing in her relationship with Ricky Tennant. The couple had been together for nearly 2 decades, but by 2012, cracks were beginning to show. In her final conversation with her mother, Tamala revealed she was planning a new life. She said she was done with the relationship she was in, her mother recalled. She said, "Mama, it's just not safe here anymore." The 2 women had been planning a vacation together, a getaway that would never happen. Monday, August 6, 2012. It was a typical summer evening in Detroit when Tamala's life took a devastating turn. According to Ricky Tennant's account to police, around 9:30 p.m., Tamala announced she was leaving the house. He claimed she said she was going to take care of business, an odd phrase for that time of night that would later raise questions. Tennant said he left shortly after to pick up their daughter, who was playing with friends down the street. As they made their way home, he claims he saw Tamala driving past them in her white Pontiac Grand Prix with black bumpers. That, he would say, was the last time he saw her alive. The next morning, Tuesday, August 7th, 2012, her mother, Donna Wells Davis, received a phone call that would change her life forever. On the other end of the line was her 6-year-old granddaughter calling from Detroit. "Grandma, my mom didn't come home last night," the little girl said. Wells Davis, who lived in Florida, immediately sensed something was wrong. She asked to speak with Tennant, but he wouldn't come to the phone. The fact that a 6-year-old was making this call instead of an adult in the house set off alarm bells. "I told my husband I needed to throw some things in a bag and head down there," she recalled. She traveled straight to her daughter's home in Detroit. where she confronted Tennant about Tamala's whereabouts. His story seemed strange from the start. Ricky said she had left home on August 6th around 9:30 p.m. He said she was going to take care of business, Wells Davis recalled. Who goes to take care of business at 9:30 at night unless it's something that's not right? And my whole thing with that is that's not Tamala at all. Something else bothered Tennant about Tamala's behavior that night. He later claimed that during their conversation, Tamala had said something strange. She said something about she was going to pay me back. He insisted he had no idea what she meant by that. With no sign of her daughter, her mother, Donna, went straight to the Detroit Police Department. What happened next would frustrate her for years to come. They sat there with their hands on the back of their head and never even wrote down my name, she said of her initial meeting with detectives. My family was raised in the city of Detroit. That's our heritage. And you telling me I can't get help? Despite the lackluster initial response, police did begin an investigation. They questioned Tennant, who was cooperating with authorities. As the investigation unfolded, Ricky Tennant agreed to take a polygraph test. Authorities say he failed. Tennant, however, claimed the result was due to marijuana use, not because he was lying. The first major break in the case came when Tamala Wells' car was discovered. Her white Pontiac Grand Prix was found abandoned several miles away from her home, near the intersection of Coventry and East State Fair on Detroit's east side. This is roughly 10 miles from her Appleton Street residence. Ricky Tennant claimed he learned about the car's location from a tip. The day after she disappeared, I put the word out that she was missing. And then a guy called me on the phone and told me where my car was at in the old neighborhood, he said. However, Tennant did not immediately call the police. According to Detroit Police Sergeant Marcellus Ball, Tennant, quote, took it upon himself to go inside the vehicle and search the vehicle. And that's when he called us. This unusual action was described by investigators as very odd and disturbing because it could have compromised potential evidence. Tennant reportedly noticed items missing from the trunk, such as a jack and a basketball, before contacting authorities. Inside the vehicle, authorities found a few clothing items, but no sign of Tamala herself. The discovery of the car in a completely different neighborhood added a perplexing twist to the case, raising more questions than answers about what could have happened that night. Despite this lead, Tamala Wells remained missing, and her family continued to search for answers. As the investigation continued, her mother, Donna, took matters into her own hands. She organized search parties, canvassed neighborhoods, and checked abandoned buildings throughout Detroit. I called in my own people to help me go door to door, search vacant houses, garage dumps, and the morgue, she said. The neighborhoods are so run down. The grass is taller than me, and there is trash and garbage and abandoned houses. I feel like I am lost when I am there. Where the hell do I look for my child in all of this mess? She could be anywhere, she would later say. Community activist Minister Malik Shabazz joined the search efforts, organizing volunteers and keeping Tamala's case in the public eye. He said that we don't believe there are cold cases. We believe there are cases that are solved and there are those that are unsolved. As the months turned to years, Ricky Tennant's behavior became increasingly alarming. In a shocking 2015 interview with the Huffington Post, he made statements that sent chills down the spines of those who heard them. When asked about Tamala's disappearance, Tennant said, "She gives me a headache," referring to his daughter and Tamala. "Tamala used to give me a headache, but I dealt with it. And I'm looking at it right now as one headache is better than two headaches." He went further, expressing hatred for her mom. "I hate her with a passion," he said. "Yes, I do. She's making me look like a villain." These comments only deepened suspicions about his involvement in Tamala's disappearance. His past also raised red flags as well. He acknowledged having a criminal record, including serving 2.5 years in prison for breaking and entering. Despite this, he maintained his innocence in Tamala's case. "If I did something, I think I would be in jail by now," he argued. But his behavior suggested something otherwise. He refused to return any of Tamala's belongings to her family, keeping all of her possessions in the house. "I still got all of her stuff in the house, in the closet, and in the basement," he said. "Her mother is mad because she wants to come and take all of her stuff out of the house, and I told her she can't take nothing." The situation became even more troubling when it came to the custody of Tamala and Tennant's daughter. Donna fought to gain visitation rights to her granddaughter, but was denied by the courts. Tennant remained the child's primary guardian, but in one particularly disturbing incident, the child was temporarily removed from his home. "There was allegations I was locking her up in a room and SAing her," he said. "They took my daughter away for 2 months. All of them allegations was false, just to get her away from me. And after 2 months, they gave me my daughter back," he continued. While these allegations were not proven, they added another layer of concern to an already extremely complicated case. Perhaps the most chilling detail came when Tennant revealed how he planned to spend his Christmas in 2015. He had played Tamala's birthday, December 30th, in the Michigan lottery and won $10,000. The casual way he spoke about it was deeply unsettling to anyone who heard it. Over the years, there have been occasional developments in this case. In 2021, Minister Malik Shabazz received a tip that Tamala had been spotted at a house on Indiana Street in Detroit. However, this lead, like so many others, failed to produce concrete results. In 2022, a new detective was assigned to the case, bringing fresh eyes to the investigation. But after more than a decade, the trail has gone cold, and concrete evidence remains elusive. For Donna Wells Davis, the pain of not knowing her daughter's fate is unbearable. "The holidays are particularly difficult," she shared. "My daughter loved Christmas. It's her favorite time of the year, and her birthday is on December 30th. We don't know if she's alive or if she's dead, and that's the hardest thing, not knowing." Today, more than 13 years after Tamala Wells vanished, her case remains officially unsolved. She would now be 46 years old. Her daughter, who was just 6 when her mother disappeared, is now a teenager who has grown up not knowing what happened to the woman who gave her life. Minister Shabazz continues to organize search efforts and keep Tamala's name in the public consciousness. In a 2023 interview, he said, "We've been standing with Donna Wells Davis, her mother, for 10 years and 6 months, and will stand another 10 years and 6 months if we have to. But it would be nice if someone would just say something, and someone knows. The Detroit Police Department has remained tight lipped about the investigation, citing the ongoing nature of the case. Ricky Tennant has never been officially named as a suspect, despite suspicions surrounding him and his disturbing comments made about Tamala's disappearance. Tennant has stated that he hasn't spoken to police much in the aftermath because he believes that when he goes down to the police stations, they try to put this stuff on him. Whether the investigation will ever move forward remains uncertain. Tamala's disappearance represents more than just one missing persons case. It's a stark reminder of how many women, particularly Black women and women of color, vanished without the media attention or investigative resources necessary to solve their cases. She had ambitions. She was pursuing education and was planning a future away from a relationship that had become unsafe. Now, a family is left with more questions than answers. And Tamala's family deserves them. Someone out there knows what happened on that August evening in 2012. Whether it's the person who saw her last, someone who knows her whereabouts, or anyone with information about the abandoned car. If you do have information about this case, you're urged to contact the Detroit Police Department. You can also call Crime Stoppers, where your identity can remain anonymous. Tips can also be submitted online at blackandmissinginc.com. All of their contact information can be found in the description. According to previous reports, there is a cash reward of up to $2,500 for information leading to Tamala's whereabouts. My thoughts and prayers are with the family and friends of Tamala Wells as they continue their search for answers. As we close out this episode, remember that sharing Tamala's story helps to spread awareness and could lead to answers her family has been seeking for more than a decade. Don't forget to click the follow button to stay updated on her case and others like it. Be sure to subscribe to Hunting for Answers on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more true crime content and case updates. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, share your thoughts on this case in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode. Until next time. Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network. For more podcasts from the Black Effect Podcast Network, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.